Good evening and happy holidays from New York City. We are live in Lower Manhattan at the home of the Heisman Memorial Trophy, the Downtown Athletic Club. Former Heisman Trophy winners from all decades have braved the elements this evening to be here. They are just as curious as the rest of us to see who will join their exclusive club as the winner of perhaps the most famous individual trophy in sports, the 60th Heisman Trophy winner. The moment is almost at hand. And welcome to the Heisman Trophy presentation presented by Wendy's. We're on the 13th floor of the Downtown Athletic Club inside the portrait room, maybe the most regal room in all of the world of sports. I'm Chris Fowler. All of us at ESPN are proud and delighted to be a part of this wonderful event. It's the end of a Heisman race that has been wide open, controversial, never dull, and that's because of the exploits of our 6 finalists who are here in New York based on the nationwide balloting. They are, in alphabetical order, the senior quarterback from Alabama, Jay Barker. Some call him the consummate winner. Kijana Carter, the junior tailback from Penn State. It's been a treat to watch his talents all year. His backfield mate from the undefeated Nittany Lions, senior quarterback Kerry Collins. Steve McNair, the senior quarterback from Alcorn State. Perhaps more player has done more for his conference in history than Steve did this year. The junior running back from Colorado, Rashaan Salaam, 2,055 yards. Stats only tell a fraction of his worth. And his fast friend, Warren Sapp, the junior defensive tackle from Miami, this year's most dominant defender. Tonight is a celebration of all of their seasons, a tough task for the Heisman balloters.
But I've enjoyed my career, and I just thank the Lord that He's blessed me in so many ways.
I'll give you one tidbit here. Don't allow Corso to be your campaign manager. They don't like him too much in Alabama.
Jay's much too intelligent to get into politics. Coming up, we'll meet our next Heisman Trophy finalist, the brilliant Steve McNair from Alcorn State. When we continue live from New York.
Here's my mind.
That's coming up next as we continue live from New York, the 60th Heisman Memorial Trophy presentation. New York City is always hopping during the holiday season. It's been energized even more by the arrival of the Heisman candidates this week. They visited the Hard Rock Cafe after going to Rockefeller Center last night and checking out the tree. And then this morning, they visited the pediatric ward at St. Vincent's Hospital. It is a busy weekend for the Heisman candidates. One of the things that makes the Heisman Memorial Trophy so special, the great past winners sitting inside the Downtown Athletic Club. The Heisman Trophy presentation presented by Wendy's. You know, no player energized this year's Heisman race like Steve McNair. No player from 1AA or the Southwestern Athletic Conference has ever won the Heisman Trophy. In 1977, Doug Williams of Grambling was 4th. Jerry Rice was 9th in '84. But then no player at any level ever had the kind of career that Steve McNair had. McNair was the focus of every defense, and still no one could contain him. Against Alcorn State, no lead was safe. But even when his team was overmatched and his hamstring hurting, Steve's courage shone through. His stats are stupefying. More total yards per game than Penn State's entire top-ranked offense. Almost 1,000 yards rushing. In his career, Steve ran and threw for a total of 9.6 miles of offense. Steve McNair, a nightmare for opposing coaches. Lee Corso standing by with a man who's thankful he didn't have to coach against him, Alcorn's coach, Cardell Jones.
Coach Jones, you know, Steve was an outstanding high school quarterback. People forget he could play great safety. In fact, he had 30 interceptions in high school. How did he ever wind up at Alcorn State?
Well, I tell you what, he was a tremendous defensive back. And most of the college coaches were looking at him at their position. But I had seen a little further. He had a brother that played quarterback for us at Alcorn, Fred McNair. He was there, McNair 1, and I knew that he could throw the football. So therefore, I needed a quarterback in my first season as head coach at Alcorn State University. So I went at him as a quarterback.
Coach, you've said, quote you here, that Steve McNair is great under pressure. What makes him such a great quarterback in those pressure situations?
One thing, Steve is calm under pressure. When the going get tough, Steve is at his best. I can count about 10 or 15 ball games with 2 minutes left to play. We have to go 80 yards. Steve has done a tremendous job in marching the team down the field 80 yards and for the winning touchdown.
We had the pleasure at ESPN of televising his games, but we also saw him in the studio. I was tremendously impressed in the game against Youngstown State. He was hurt. He kept in the ball game. Actually, he could have gone in the tank. You know, most guys would have quit, but he kept coming back. I was most impressed with him in that defeat and all the wins before that. Do you think those qualities of toughness will help him in his next level as a pro quarterback?
Most definitely. He's a very tough individual. He can play with pain, and that leg was given a great deal of trouble during that game, but he wanted to stay in there and do the best he could as far as helping the team.
Great player. Craig?
A great player indeed, and I mean, there's been so much focus and attention on you and the Heisman race. I mean, how do you feel? You're here finally.
Well, I feel great being amongst the other 5 finalists and getting to know those guys and knowing that you one of the 6 best college football out there. It feels great to be here.
Do you ever at all during this weekend think about maybe that you're carrying the weight of a lot of lower division players and the respect they should have had?
Oh, yes. You had a lot of players in the past and didn't get the recognition they deserve in the past. And I think now that since I'm here at the Heisman downtown club, I think it's very impossible for me to just say it's not an enjoyable moment for me and also the players that in the past didn't get the recognition that they deserve.
How do you get away from all the people and the pressure?
Well, mainly, my mom is doing a great job of helping me getting taking care of that, and I just mainly concentrate on what I have to do to proceed my career and to be successful on the football field as well off the field.
You are here in this room. That trophy that's sitting right there, that is the Heisman Trophy. That will be awarded to one of the winners tonight. You ready to take it home with you?
Well, if you'd give it to me, I'll take it home.
You're not going to drop it, are you?
No problem.
All right, Steve, I've enjoyed watching you play. You're a heck of a football player, and I'll say this. There are a lot of fans in America that support this man right here. My mailman will vouch for that. If you ever question his competition, they're coming my way.
It's been fun. We can't wait to see Steve in the All-Star games and also at the next level. You know, the last time the 2 Heisman finalists came from the same school was 1983. The 2 Cornhuskers, Mike Rozier here won it, and his quarterback, Turner Gill, until this year. Earlier, we heard from Kijana Carter. We'll hear from his quarterback next. Kerry Collins when we come back. Moment almost at hand.